There you are, Mighty Mouse. Just got off the phone with a feller, so it's $11,000 just for the diaphragms. What's the freaking deal with this airplane? Save the 310? Whose idea was this? Hello and welcome to Jimmy's World. If you're new here, my name is Jimmy, and this is my world, all about airplanes and finding abandoned ones and making questionable decisions both financially and physically. I'm gonna do a complete fleet update for you today. I'm not sure if it's called a fleet or a gaggle. I don't know what you call a gathering of airplanes and vehicles. Man, because Thomas is on here. You guys haven't met Thomas either. We got Private Ryan, then her Private Pile. It's that right there. How cool is that? Yes, it's a Simfire and it uses propane and oxygen and it goes flash, flash, bang, bang. And it's gonna go on top. It's gonna be fantastic. Can't wait. Shoot, that was gonna be a surprise. You weren't supposed to see that. We start with Private Pile. As you can see, not much has changed because, well, it's actually became a storage container, which is awesome. I lost my trailer, though I had all the stuff that I got from Pennsylvania in it. I sold the trailer and then I didn't have any place to put it. So I also lost my parking spot over here, which kind of stinks. The goal with this thing is to get it going, finish painting this all black in here. Got the seats right there. All those things need to go inside there, paint it up a little, and then I've got the special flashbang that's gonna go mounting up there on top, which I'm super excited about. It's like a sparkler on top of a birthday cake. It's gonna be fantastic. Everything else on the outside is done. That's the update on this thing. What a fantastically lovely day to do some questionable test flights. Yep, there's Thomas. At least he's not lonely. Found some friends, I see. That's never good when you got a sign there that says, call me ASAP. Is anything broken on you? I haven't seen you since we got back. We need to sell this thing too. Okay. Is there a bunch of rats and mice living in here now? Leaks in the ceilings? Well, still smells okay. Oh, Thomas, you're a good motorhome. Turn switches on. Let's see if you'll start. Yeah, it's been over a month since you started. Come on. Hey, nice. What about the generator? That thing start? Oh, there it goes. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Hey, that's a sign right there. Engine starts, generator starts, fired up and drive down the road. One thing I've always found funny about what the guy that bought it is he put a speed detector in it. Really? Why? The top speed of this thing is 70 and that's kind of scary. Okay. All right. I mean, if you recall, I bought old Thomas here because of those two airplanes up in Pennsylvania. And literally, it had sat for 3 years in the storage park, kind of like this thing. And I went in, started the engine, started the generator, looked at all the tires, checked the fluids, and then took off on a, what was that, over 2,000 mile road trip. It was fantastic. And old Thomas here never missed a beat. Super impressed. Although I did break the toilet. That was a totally different thing. Anyways, we don't use the RV now. I got the airplanes to like go places and do things. Time to see Thomas on down the tracks. Let's go see some airplanes now. Okay, Thomas. I'll see you later. You guys remember Purple Power Eater? I'm trying to figure out the name for this one. In full disclosure, I did sell this one and immediately after I sold it, it broke. Awesome. Now we're trying to get it fixed and fix a couple of squawk things on this. That one I did sell and it's still here because it broke, which is exactly the way airplane ownership goes, which kind of stinks because the guy bought it and he hasn't even been able to fly it. That sucks. Sorry, Scott. Love you. And what broke on it, you ask? The airspeed indicator is stuck on 75 knots, which I'm not going to say anything, but I think it's something somebody blew too hard into that thing, which popped the diaphragm inside the airspeed indicator, which made it go bink. The other thing is one of the gear actuators had a little bit of a leak, so we were trying to just get that done. That's not a critical thing. It was more of a squawk than anything else. And then while it was sitting for the last couple of weeks, the battery went dead. So we had to order another battery, and it's between Christmas and New Year. So everything is taking forever to get the battery here. They had to, oh, it looks like they got it done though. That's good. So they had to replace a couple of rivets on the inside of this because this thing was super loose. You can't really see it in here now, but inside this, there was 2 little rivets right here that had popped out, and they had to replace those. And that's nice and tight now. Fantastic. Yeah, that's a solid airplane right there. Let's see, we got another Sierra just like it on the other side over here that I almost blew up, a brand new $55,000 engine. Let's go check that one out. Yes, there he is. I was gonna call him like Donald. He looks like a Donald, doesn't he? Yeah, definitely. I have an idea of why the oil overheated and I almost destroyed this brand new Lycoming engine that was over $55,000. And you might even be able to see it from down in here because this hose right here, you can't really see it, but you see that little thing down there? That is that. And the hose is supposed to go from there to that hose right there, and it's not connected. I think what happened, the air went in here, it didn't go into the hose, into the cabin, and it built up pressure inside here so that the air that went in here and in here, that's the oil cooler where it's supposed to go, comes in and goes down. There was all that air pressure underneath, and the air could only just hit here and go that way. It wouldn't allow it to go down. That's what I think. So today, as soon as our little bit of fog lifts up here, I'm gonna connect that hose and we're gonna go fly it again and see if that oil temperature goes to the moon again. Hope not. I hope that's all it is. Otherwise, that's not fun. What else is wrong with this thing? Well, it's got a little beauty mark right here. It's got a chrome spinner on it, which I don't know if you can see, but you see that derelict row of airplanes? There's one at the end that's a Beechcraft Musketeer. Might have a spinner that might work on this one. Do you think they'll notice a brand new chrome spinner on that old dilapidated airplane? All the control surfaces are good. Yeah, this, again, not a big deal, but it's kind of dumb. When it was in the hangar, it has a little clear reflector thing that goes up here. Totally broke that off. I haven't even priced out what that thing is. $1,000. I mean, everything else is $1,000 on these. Oh, under here, there's a couple of screws missing off of that inspection plate. And there was on the other side, it's the other side. We got more screws missing off of this inspection plate right there. Got a couple there that are missing, and these are stripped out. So we got to go in and fix those and get all those screws back in the inspection plate. Then as we come inside, what's broken in here? That's broken. They got a wrong programming in here for the fuel pressure, so I got to take that out and send that back. We have a giant hole right here. When I took this panel off, the wiring for the light, the backlight on this, they put permanent connections on there, so I had to cut those. So we got to put some different connectors on there. We just got to put these little plugs in here. We've got a handful of things. A lot of things are going to have to get sent out and take several weeks. So this has got to get sent. That's going to take a couple weeks. So the main issue I'm having with this is it will not make static RPM. And it's because, I think it's because, one is the prop has about 1,200 hours on it. It was put on in 1994. I did find those logs. And it was taken off and put on about 3 or 4 times since then. However, it has not been rebuilt in that time. And I think what's happening, if you can see that right there, see the movement? So very slight. See how the angle is like that? It has stops, and this blade moves back and forth like this. And what I think is happening is the stops and the pressure, the oil pressure that goes in, is not allowing the blade to come out like this as much as it should, and it's being stuck back like this, which creates more resistance on the air and not allowing the engine to spin as fast as it needs to spin. And what we got to do is take this prop off and see if the angle, and it's staying at the angle it's supposed to stay at. And the only way to really check that is to take it off, send it to a prop shop, and they're probably going to tell me I need a rebuild on it, which is fantastic because that's only going to be, I don't know, $5,000, $7,000, $3,000. I don't have any idea, because who knows if these blades are still within spec, because they've had to file this one down right here at one point. And look, all this, so it's Yay, money! Money! So when I'm disappointed by looking at this thing and the work I still need to do to that, I just go, yes! Hello, Cameron. Yowza! You sexy thing! Where did you come from, baby? Look at that! That is seriously just... Look at that. That's so pretty. It's painful to see it parked outside because there's no hangers here. However, this is waterproofed. Byron and all of his details waterproof this. So that is fantastic. Let me show you what we're gonna be doing to this thing now. Well, the first thing is we're gonna have to add a little bit of flair to this. Put some hey look at me stripes on it, some racing stripes. I wanna know from you what the design on this airplane should be. Should it be more like NASCAR? We got some numbers on the side. Should it be like a fighter jet where it's got like digital camo or something on it? Should it be just with some swooshy lines? What sort of super cool idea for a design can you think of? You can email me some pictures if you want of, designs of airplanes that you have found that you really, really like. Maybe, just maybe, we'll use one of your designs to make that thing happen. And if we do, I will definitely give you a shout out. And if you're local, maybe even we can invite you out on the day that happens when we get Jimmy squared over here to put the wrapper on it. That's a good idea. So comment below, let me know what you think this thing should look like. On the inside, the avionics, everybody was asking about the IFR, whenever you can fly in weather kind of like this. This is still a little low for what we have capability for, but whenever you got bad weather and you can't see the ground, that is called instrument flight rules, or IMC, instrument flight conditions. And we're gonna be upgrading the avionics, getting all the stuff done that we need to do so that I can fly this when I cannot see the ground. And the first thing you gotta do is I'm gonna have to change this out. It's not heated. So I'm gonna put a heated pitot in here. And the heated means whenever you're flying through cold weather and it's wet, this will ice up and build up ice here, which then messes all your equipment up for inside there, and it plugs it up and you can't see how fast or how high you are or any of that stuff. Holla, 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 holla. Yep, we're gonna be upgrading all of this. I'm thinking glass panel here. I'm thinking some sort of GPS. That's gonna be our IFR certified GPS navigation thing over there. And then we're gonna put an autopilot in this thing. We're gonna get rid of the instrument gauges here and put in digital display, probably on our glass panel. And yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. The interior, honestly, that's fine. Oh, yep, cargo net. That's gonna happen because we all saw what happened the last time when that stuff came flying up and bucking around and everything else. Holy crap! So cargo net is definitely going back here. Man, I like this thing. Today, I'm gonna be putting together my own checklist. I'm gonna take what he's got here, and this is an older one. There's a couple things that it doesn't have anymore. It used to have an electronic ignition system right here. So I'm just gonna update all of that so that it's a nice standard one. And I'm gonna put it in my phone on my electronic checklist and stuff. I can't believe when I bought this thing, I didn't tell you a couple of details about it. So this is called a Lancer 360. That's because it has the 360 Lycoming engine in the front, which produces, on this one, it's rated at 180 horsepower. Now this one does have a fixed pitch prop on it, which means it's locked in. It's one solid piece. It's not going anywhere like the other one where the blades would go like that. If I did put one of those ones on there and a two-blader, this one could actually pick up probably 5 to 10 knots. So instead of 180, 185 true airspeed, we're talking 190, 195 true airspeed. When it comes time to replace that prop, maybe, just maybe, we might have to upgrade a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. So this is the Mark II version. There was a Mark I, which had some more difficult flight characteristics, like how I was bouncing and stuff like that. On a Mark I, I would have probably broke something big time. Mark II, the tail section is bigger back there, so you have more authority at slower speeds. The front engine is stretched forward 3 inches. Those are the 2 biggest characteristics. How you can tell the difference is how long the nose is on these. And the upgrade that this have, which you did see, is what's called an Outback landing gear, so it has bigger tires on it. And this one's upgraded with the shocks instead of little rubber donuts like you'd find on a Mini or a Mooney, something like that. That's the major points of the differences. Fun side note, Scott and I flew this yesterday whenever we went to go get that thing, and we just about got locked in here because this little latch here was kind of sticky and we almost got locked in here. We were both banging on it and prying on it and everything. Good thing we got our little safety breakout tool there. That's what we had to use, a tool to get that thing undone. So now I'm going to take a little bit of WD-40 or some LPS2 in the aviation world and get these lubed up, and a couple other little things lubed up I've found kind of sticky. Back here in Florida where we have humidity, so it's not sure what to do with that. Time to take that thing off, tighten up that little hose down there, put that back on. Twist, twist. Yep, that right there. Just gotta go on that like so. Put the clamp on there. All right, let's hope that's what it was. Now this is interesting. Whenever you overheat an engine, the oil is always burned, smells bad, and that kind of thing. This oil, super clean, smells brand new. It's not burnt at all. I mean, that's a good sign, but that also makes me curious about the oil temp to see if I'm getting an accurate reading from the gauge. What do you think? This one I know has seen a lot better days. It's super rough everywhere around. There's this one. That's a fixed pitch. Man, that spinner is not gonna work. Bummer. Ooh, that's rough. That is bow wow wow, yippee yo yippee, youch, kind of rough. Think it'll buff out? Think it'll start? Are you another Brandon? Look, Florida. Stuff is literally growing on this thing. Oh, look at the bugs inside there. There's a whole bee's nest in there. Look at all those yellow jackets. Wasps yeah, look at that. They got cooked. Oh, it's got 2 doors on it. So this is a later model. There you go. Looks like a garden. I'd say that's kind of dried out. Whoa. See if there's like a raccoon or something that's gonna come out of this. It is just remarkable that people will leave planes. Oh yeah, that's why. These are made out of magnesium, and when magnesium, the skin is broken, it disintegrates. Like that Bonanza that we had to cut the wings off of is because it's made out of magnesium. And it just literally disintegrates right in your hands. Yeah, that'll buff out. Oh, those are frozen. That's a bummer. You definitely don't want to end up here. That's a pretty nice little plane. What's the story with that one? That's pretty neat. Oh, it's like a motor glider or whatever they call it. That's pretty neat. Ooh, heck yes. Dude, this is a seriously nice airplane. Why are you here? Dude, this thing is nice. What is the story with that? It's a Seneca 2. Why are you out here? We need to find out about that one. Popping the cover off on this, I just wanted to check a couple things after that flight, the belt, and I noticed that we're at a different elevation now, so I'm gonna need to just tweak that mixture just a smidge and the idle on this. And just a general look it over for oil leaks or anything else that may have happened on the trip. One thing I want to show you that's really cool that Byron did is put in these little flaps right here. And what happens is whenever it's going, air goes in there and then it goes bloop, and closes that. So when you're flying, it's closed, but when you sit on the ground, bloop, it's on a hinge and just sits there. So heat can come out of it when it's just sitting here. Ha! Only a guy in Arizona would come up with that. The other thing about this plane is it's experimental, which means I get to do all kinds of stuff to this without going through the bureaucratic process of getting everything approved and everything else. Like those little holes, to try to do that on that plane over there would have taken 2 years of paperwork and like $250,000. Thanks, government. You make everything better. Every one of these engines, this little tube here, the dipstick tube that goes in, is always loose down there and always leaks oil. Can you see a little bit of wet right there? And you just take this and tighten it. Every single one of these engines I've ever had, that's the same problem. Even the brand new one on that one over there, same deal. In case you ever wondered how to adjust the mixture on these, it's this little thing right here. R, whoop, rich, you go that way. Lean, you go the other way. And the idle on this is that little screw right there. So it needs to go up just a smidge. So we're gonna take that and just go a quarter turn. Whoop. That's it. Now we're gonna see how that goes. Bada bing, bada boom. Good little motor, good little airplane. Cameron, you rock my face off. I say we go ahead and hop inside, fire it up, see if those adjustments worked. What do you think? Mixture set, idle set, air is out, battery's on, boost pump is already pressurized. Ready? Can I get a clear prop? Get the mixture, so we're looking for a 50 RPM rise when I pull it back. We'll get it back down to 1,000 here. Alright, there's 1,000. We're going to pull the mixture back, looking for a rise. Goes up a little bit, yep, right there. And then it should fall off. Yep, there it goes. Nicely done. Alright. Put back up. Sweet! Mixture is right. Now let's look for the idle. Go ahead and run it up. And let's see where. Alright, that's all the way back. That's still a little low. So we're going to put it up another half a turn so that it idles right about there. Man, I like this airplane. Yes! Rum, rum. Now then, just take my handy dandy little screwdriver and come right here and go just like that. Done. Bam! Just like that. Nicely done. We'll look for a rise in the mixture, the RPM when we lean it back. There's our rise. Down. Sweet! Alright. We're done. And that's how that's done. Holla! Ah! I'm bleeding! That finger right there. See it? Ow! Well, crap. This fog is not leaving. It's still really low IFR, not flying either one of these airplanes, even that one that's IFR certified, because the fog is too low and this is just not lifting. Crap, I was gonna fly that airplane up to the other airplanes because it's an hour drive in a car or it's about a 15-minute flight. Yeah, I was definitely gonna be flying that thing up there. I decided to go ahead and drive up there. The fog was taking forever for it to lift up, be there for a little bit to check things out. And then by the time I get back, it's already looking better at this part of up here a little bit. And then we'll take that airplane for a ride and see if that oil temperature goes sky high again on that thing. So let's go check out the 310 and the Aztec. Come on! It's a jet-powered glider! What? This has got to be my favorite thing ever. Looks like a turbocharger. Dude! Oh, yes! Oh. that? How much thrust, you know, how many get you pushing going power?
About 100 pounds. So enough for a sustainer, and I can climb at about, I don't know, 400 feet a minute.
Holy cow, that's more than a sustainer. That's pretty good.
300.
You gotta get you one of these, man. No more pistons. What is that? That's for other people. This is legitimately cool. Look at that. Jet engine comes up out of that. How cool is this? And it packs into a trailer. Man, this thing is just awesome. Super awesome. There you are, Mighty Mouse. Wings are on. We got to pick up the hardware when they open back up next week after the New Year's. The next thing we're going to do on this is connect the gears and make sure they go up and down and do all what they're supposed to do, so that when we get the wings connected, we can take it off of its stand. The plan with Mighty Mouse here. Oh, let me you gotta crawl underneath. We know that one fuel tank, or one fuel pump is not working. This side? Yeah, this side. So this one we gotta do some figure out why that one's not working. That fuel tank does work. Should be good to go. It's got bladders in it. We checked those. Those were good. There was some corrosion issues inside here on just as a check. We've checked those. Those turned out good. The inside, as far as avionics go, honestly, I would like to update it. We'll have to see where the budget is after we get this thing airworthy, because it's got a little bit older stuff in it. So yeah, I think we can do better than that. And the autopilot doesn't work on this. And Jack there, he said the autopilot never did work, so that's a bummer. That is the goal, is to get this one cleaned up, get it airworthy, and then we might start updating some stuff. And the same story here. We got to send off some engine parts. We got the props. Those are good to go now. We got to order in a bunch of hoses to replace this kind of stuff that's all dry and brittle. All this up here, we got to replace all that stuff. And down here on your hydraulic lines, brake lines, stuff like that, we're gonna put new hoser. We're gonna put new hoses on all that stuff there. Got to change out the tires and tubes. The brakes on this were good. Oh, I forgot. We still got to get this fixed. We got our hanger rash on the back of the tail there. We got to get that fixed. These engines, magnetos. For part 91, that's got to go. We can keep that one if it's working and it inspects out and checks out good. This one does have to get renewed, redone. Replace hosing, get all that stuff sent out. These little pressure carbs right here, those got to get sent out. I think all the rubber diaphragms and stuff are toasting that after 37 years. Crazy. Yeah. Interior definitely needs cleaned. That is disgusting. And then we got Pablo here. Yeah, it's pretty much not done anything or gone anywhere. It is a fantastic airplane though. Look at this, just ginormous back in there. That is super cool. We got parts, seats laying everywhere. Yep. We got to check the tanks on this one, because that might take a while if we have to redo the tanks. Same thing with the engines, all the parts on that, get the props, get all that stuff done. Start sending a whole bunch of stuff out, because we've got some 80s, like on this counterweight here, there's 80 there. So we'll get all this stuff done. Send out all the parts, spend a stupid amount of money getting all that stuff redone. That way, when we're ready for it to come back on, the plane is ready to accept it. And the plan with Pablo here, honestly, is just to get it back flying. The avionics stack in it is acceptable. It's not the newest thing in the world, but it was brand new in 1992, I believe. Kind of sort of later model things, and it's got fuel flow, and we've got temperatures, and it's got the weather strike finder 9000 thing there and all that good stuff. It's a fully capable, ready to go airplane. So we're just gonna try to get this one back together in annual and flying. The engines were solid. The insides checked out really well. The props, I think those we're gonna send off. We're gonna have the governors checked and the mags checked out on it. And I mean, pretty much put this thing together and fly it. Just get it an annual, service all the gears, you know, check all that stuff. The fuel bladders, those were also new in the 90s. Fingers crossed, they should be good and not leaking. And there was no body damage on this one either. It just needs a good detail. Come on, Ammo NYC. This one will give you a run for your money. All right, looking up, it looks like these clouds have burned off now. Let's head back to the other airport to go fly the other airplanes. Yes, that is much better. Back here, gonna see if we can run this thing up. And I don't know, we got a new oil cooler we gotta put on it anyways. I'm not gonna go fly it today. I'm just gonna wait till we get that oil cooler put on. But I am gonna do a ground run to see if it's still doing the same thing and not giving us the RPMs that we need. Dr. Phil said that it could have just had some gunk in the prop or something like that. And after it flew for a little bit, kind of, you know, flush some of that stuff out of there or whatever. So we're gonna fire it up, see what we got happening here. Stand by. This is just fun to say. Can I get a clear prop? Nicely done. Yes. We are fully warmed up. I've done my crop cycle and mag drop, all that. Let's give it a beans and see how high this plane will go. Well, how about that? Just got off the phone with a feller about those carburetors on that engine, and there's some weird, funky pressure carburetor thing that, like normal carburetor, you put gas in, it goes on a bowl, there's a float, and it says, I want more, and it sucks it out and goes. Or fuel injector is air comes in, and then it sends and goes, squirts in the engine. Well, this was some weird, like, thing somebody tried. And it's based on pressure of fuel flow and air and moves diaphragms and stuff like that. And it is one company in the entire world, not exaggerating, there's one company in the entire world that makes the diaphragms that go in that to rebuild it. And they want, just for those diaphragms, there's two needed, $5,500 each. So it's $11,000 just for the diaphragms that go in there, not including all the other gaskets and everything else that you need, or the labor. And I got a quote from a carburetor shop that rebuilds them. We're looking at, how much do you say, $9,000 each, $18,000 to rebuild the carburetors. What's the freaking deal with this airplane? Save the 310? Whose idea was this? This is a terrible idea. I'm gonna have to sell a lot more t-shirts. You can find all that stuff down below in the shop, stickers and t-shirts for carburetors. That is insanity. Insanity. I wonder if we can do a conversion. No. They make a Riley turbo conversion where you take 540 Lycomings and put on there, which are the engines from the Aztec, are 540 Lycomings. There's no way. Do you think? Could we take the engines off of that Aztec, put those on the 310? Dude, I gotta go find out.